As the digital twin collects and analyzes data from the real world, it gets smarter, eventually creating its own metaverse to test new ways of doing business in a minimal risk environment. We now move on to the fireside chat titled Metaverse as a Future of Smart Manufacturing. And first up, I'd like to welcome to the dais the moderator for this fireside chat, Amit, Oturkar, partner at KPMG. Ladies and gentlemen, kindly put your hands together for Amit as he makes his way up to the dais. And he will be in conversation with Suresh Komirishetty, CIO, Mercedes-Benz. Kindly put your hands together, ladies and gentlemen, for Suresh. Amit, in case you wish to take any questions from the audience, kindly do so within the time that has been allotted to you. And with that, I hand over the floor to you, Amit.
Sure, thank you. Hi. So hi Suresh, and hello everyone. I'm Amit Oturkar. I'm a partner with KPMG based out of Pune. So this is a topic which is very interesting, and I'm sure it's, everyone has been reading up about Metaverse, and what's better that we have somebody from Mercedes-Benz who've always been leading the technology sides, giving us the best of the service that we can, look forward to help us with that. So what we'll do is, we'll go through the session, hear views that Suresh has. I'll allow Suresh to introduce himself first, and then we can take some questions. Suresh, please.
Thanks, Amit. Good afternoon, everyone. This is Suresh Komirishetty. I head the IT function in MB India. We have office in Chakan. I've been with Mercedes now for almost 11 years. I worked in Germany, then in Singapore, and then I moved last 4 years back to India. Now, we are actively engaged, and I think you would already see automotive industries in a good times now. So a lot of action, but at the same time, a lot of change, which keeps us too busy, especially in the CIO function. It keeps absolutely busy for us. Yeah.
And especially now with the whole EV industry picking up, I'm sure that's been a disruption, but yes, of course not the topic of discussion today. Yep. All right. So since this is a fireside chat, let's begin, Suresh, now with a rapid fire.
Sure.
One word: Metaverse.
Future.
All right.
Future of manufacturing.
Security.
It's a trust.
All right. Benefits.
Flexibility.
All right. So Suresh, can you give us, what is your outlook? I mean, you've been, you guys have been the leaders, practically in the auto industry. You have to keep up with the latest trends. You do a lot of luxury segment. You also do a lot of the commercial segment. So what's your outlook in terms of Metaverse playing a role in industry, and especially in manufacturing?
Yeah. So I'm not sure if some of you have read. We have a lot of information on the public also recently. We have this initiative called Smart Factory, and we have a prototype done. One of our factory runs, which we say a lab for us, but which is live, and we produce some of the premium products there. So Smart Factory started as a concept from the digitization or Industry 4.0, where we were more focused on the digitizing all the aspects. But then as the time changed, now we are in that Smart Factory now encompasses much more than what we actually started at the beginning. Now if you ask me what's happening there, especially in the context of Metaverse, the whole philosophy has changed for us. Now we call virtual first. This is now really the case. When I say virtual first, if you see what's happening or what started happening, as a concept, it's not brand new. That first we want to do everything, entire network of production in a virtual world first. When I say this, starting from the RD, which is a development, to engineering, to production, even the product. And today we don't stop with the production. When we talk about these technologies, they extend up to the sales and customer services. And in true sense, we have so many use cases now all of a sudden, which we thought that would be the last one to come, but we realize it's on par with. So the entire value chain is now getting simulated in the virtual world first before we really get into the real world. So it's clear decision. Probably, if we see in the IT world, it used to be that mobile first some point in time, right? But now today it's truly virtual first. Again, as a concept, I'm sure all of us have heard and it's known in pockets. But what's changing, what's brand new now is it's a reality. It's a brand new reality. It's no more a concept anyway. We tied up with NVIDIA recently, and they have this Omniverse. Now these technologies have really become mature to put them to use. So we are able to put our entire production process, entire plant, absolutely entire plant into a virtual world and simulate it, right? I mean, this digital twin in the context of factory is now a living reality. It's not really the future of it, but if you say it's if it's done, no, is a long way to go. When we think of production, it's not what we produce in a factory, right? It's a lot to do with the entire integrated value chain from entire logistics across your partners and connected economy. Now, everybody has to really move into it if you want to get the full benefit. If we alone move, it's not going to be sufficient. Now that's where the whole game changer will come, when we are able to connect entire ecosystem. So that would be one big topic that we want to, we will have to go in. Second is, if you see what's up, now the context is changing now. It's completely integrated world, right? It's with Metaverse, it changes, it brings the three dimension of it. But we have, once a customer orders his car, we have this, the topic, this the way we say it is, if a customer orders a car itself will find its own plant where it gets produced and its own suppliers and its own unity, because everything can be connected. I mean, yes, not there, long way, but that's going to be the future, right?
That's
once the customer orders, everything is done, and our entire even logistics is, we call customer-centric supply chain, CCSM, which is also the context that earlier our supply chain used to stop with the production.
Yeah.
Now it's not, that's not the end point. The end point is when actually that particular vehicle reaches the customer and he takes the handover. So the supply chain goes till that stage. Now entire these simulations and also possibilities is going to happen in the virtual world. I think that's a reality, because today we already have 2D. Everything is in 2D, right? I mean, it's not that we don't have all of them, but the 3D is going to at least cover what we have, plus and plus.
So this is a really immersive experience, right? That's where you're getting to, where two entities, two or more entities or two more people can actually interact with each other on this platform. So now tell me this, right? This is the future, and you are heading the technology. You're the chief information officer, at Mercedes-Benz, and I'm sure you have somebody to report into. And nobody does anything without having the right return on investment, right? So how do you make this case of return on investment for a metaverse, to be piloted? And of course, metaverse is nothing but a sigma of several different latest technologies, be it AI, ML, IoT, etc. Put all of them together, 3D, planning, mapping, etc. Right? So now, when you look at, and while you might have done some bits of it, at least from your experience, how do you look at making a case, a business case of saying, here are the benefits and here's the return on investment? So can you shed some light on that?
Yeah, I mean, what's a core benefit if we see of the metaverses and the virtual first strategy? Essentially, we are able to speed up the whole cycle. The core essence is speed, but if you ask me what's more important than even the speed, is flexibility. That's why when you ask the benefit, I see that flexibility as the important part. because the life cycle of the vehicle is no more 10 years like in the past, right? I release one vehicle and then it runs for 10 years and customers will be absolutely happy. The life cycle, the expectation of the customer is changing very fast. The technology is changing very fast, right? Every few years the technology gets refreshed. So we are having evolution very fast and we need a flexibility. It doesn't mean that the 10 years old design will be thrown out. We keep adding the designs, right? And we can't keep building the plans. So we need that flexibility. The flexibility to the extent today, if we think, visualize ourselves, the topic was, discussion was, of course, with NVIDIA, was can we simulate the whole production process sitting centrally in Stuttgart? And the simulation would happen for different plants across the world. And just imagine we push over the air, similar, and then production process changes. Easier said than done, but that's going to be the beauty, the flexibility.
And the flexibility also to make mistakes, because it's at a much lower cost.
Yes, you can correct and then get back and simulation is very powerful. We don't know many a times when we get into the production. Okay, let me start. One is, we talk about flexibility, that's I say the number one. The second one is the speed. The speed is directly associated with the cost. The cost and the speed at which we do the development or the production, or especially in the engineering and the development, that gives us a huge benefit in terms of the cost. The third one is the sustainability. See, this is where I see the power of simulations come. Many a times if you're not able to simulate all the possibilities, probably we don't have the efficiencies. Now, the efficiencies indirectly is sustainability today. Right, so the sustainability is a huge topic. At least we see that now slowly becomes the forefront of the decisions. The third, maybe probably other one, the last one, and maybe I should say it's a softer one, maybe not immediate, but as the world moves on, we need to be future ready in terms of people ready. People in perspective of people. Maybe the new generations don't want to work, in older technologies, right? If you see your kids, our kids, I mean, they already are much ahead of their expectation in terms of they are already in these 3D games and virtual living now. If you're not there, this talent cannot be attracted. So we need to be future ready in terms of people. So that's another benefit. So we see these are the major ones. I'm sure we can list many, but at least at top.
Those would be the key ones. But now this is very interesting because while you were speaking about the overall outlook and its benefits, etc., there were certain things that were coming to my mind. One is you mentioned about the challenge on having, let us say, the interoperability. So let us say your suppliers, your vendors, etc., or even your customers, they might be on. First of all, they may not have even ventured into Metaverse. Or if they have, then they might be on a separate platform. And what about the whole interoperability issue? And what are the different challenges that you see? Because, I mean, you're a German company, and I know GDPR is a big issue over there. So, if you're saying going right to the customer, you're talking about your vendors, there's so much of private information, you have your workers, you're saying that there's going to be trainings or getting future ready with the people. I mean, all this personal information, so GDPR becomes a big issue. In my view, you're talking about faster processing speeds, you're looking at much more, resilient hardware, probably even looking at moving into cloud for some of the things. I mean, then you're looking at next generation hardware technology, you're looking at next generation speeds that are to come in, you're looking at security issues, especially with if you would have known an attack that happened recently on Volvo and on their database, which was actually hit on their payment servers, right? I mean, you're talking of security issues, and now with all of this happening, GDPR included, where do you see the key challenges that are there, and what's your view on how the world is probably looking at addressing some of those challenges?
Yeah, that's a big question and a complicated question, I would also say it's the biggest challenge. Right now, if you see what's happening, we are venturing into one kind of a technology, in this case, Omniverse. Not everybody will be there, and this is your private virtual world. Now, you cannot get your entire supplier ecosystem into it at the same time. They will have to probably, they might choose a different platform than what you want. And like what you rightly highlighted, one aspect is interoperability, but slowly this is already on the top of the technology development. I hope it would be solved. But what happens is the data is a huge topic. Now, there can be many different strategies, right? Let's talk about our scenario. What we are trying to do is we have this whole platform separately called CCP, which we call Car and Customer Platform, where we are now trying to secure the entire platform in a much more controlled manner than in the past, because we know that's going to get bigger. It's just we started investing into it, and it'll be a huge topic, but it's not straightforward. Building platform is one thing, but if you put the data there, who will give you, who's the owner, what's the shareability, and what's the we call DPOB, the data processing on behalf of terms and conditions. So huge topic. I don't have a straight answer there, but it's a huge topic, and it differs from country to country. The other part is, for example, we started working on MBOS. I'm not sure if you heard. MBOS is our operating system, which will run on our cars, similar to your iOS, Android, which is running on those mobiles. These operating systems are built exclusively for us. Now, if you ask me, sure, there is a huge topic is the flexibility again here, that we remove the the brain and the body kind of thing, like similar to our laptops, or if you see the software is different, the hardware is different. That part is there, but one other thing is we want to open up our ecosystem. Now, if you want to open up ecosystem, you need your own control, right? You need absolute control. You have responsibility to control it, right? So then we open up this tunnel, and then we know what's going in and out. So one platform, it's more from technology perspective, but it's also the channels, how this data goes in and out. We have to control it. And even legal framework is changing. It's not that it's already evolved and it's there and it's given. I think it's also changing. So again, flexibility from technology perspective is another aspect. I don't know everything coming to flexibility now, but yeah, that's the other aspect we have to do. That's why we always have this situation we call transforming BU, transforming IT. It's our own terms, but while you are transforming business process, we have to keep transforming IT also, because these have to go in hand. When you talk about security on the data and the protection, it's a lot to do with your, your baseline is also moving. For example, cloud, Flask, and other strategies. So we are on. That's a thought process for now.
All right. So now here's a googly for you, right? You're a CIO, which is essentially you're a CXO. You deal with the board members. You have to answer questions, etc. And I'm sure there's a lot of industrialists out here, today in the audience here. With Metaverse coming, you being a global leader in car manufacturing, you do your own designs and everything. Technology is changing, Metaverse is here, and today, do you believe that there is a threat from even the smaller designers coming in, getting better things out there? And how do you, what do you see as a competition, as a threat over there? And how do you look at staying ahead of this curve, or what's your overview on this?
That's an interesting question. Look at, if some company produces a car, a beautiful car, gives you a very attractive price, and it keeps you in front of your place, would you go and bet your money on that?
Well, it depends. Of course, you have a name to reckon with, and the whole legacy of safety around it. But again, that's why I said I'm not even getting into the car manufacturing. I'm talking about even the design aspects of it, right?
I come there. So first is there's a lot of legacy. You already mentioned that's built over a period of time, and we bet our trust and money on the legacy, right? When you buy, for example, a Mercedes car, you have a set expectation, and it's cemented. And it comes with a lot of hard work of more than 150 years of experience and track record. So first is that, and we have been associated with a luxury, right? We know our customers predominantly, and what's happening. So first is this aspect is there that really will keep us differentiated. But other side, like what you said, is now a small developer coming and really coming with the design. The beauty of Metaverse is actually the collaboration. Right now, if you go into the Metaverse, the design is not going to, it need not be in-house, right? Our technology in the IT industry already went in that way, crowdsourcing was possible. Now, why not the design? But just design is not the end point of the car. It's much more than even engineering, much more than production, much more than the brand, the aspiration, the connect. So they're much more. But we will definitely, in fact, we are very clear when we go into Metaverse, the collaboration will be of a different level. Because when I think of a digital twin of a car, not that tomorrow MB will create a digital twin. No, we want each supplier who's producing their components to give us a digital twin and we assemble it, right? It's a similar way the design is going to be everything. Now, if somebody is designing a particular component, they will design and that specialization will come. And I know I see it's going to be much more, it's going to be real time. The beauty of this whole thing is he changes and my simulation is working and the feedback goes, then they're changing it. And there could be, in the design stage, it's not one model. And there is a competition, there are multiple models are happening, no simulations are happening, you can interchange some designs from one to other, so many things. I mean, it's going to be even beautiful. I think the talent will be acknowledged.
So what I hear, Suresh, from you, and if everyone is getting this right, is there is a huge opportunity for even collaborating with MB as this goes in. So it's a good business case to start investing in. Is there any possibility, and if you can't, that's fair because I can understand the kind of business obligations you would be under, but is there a way that you could probably enlighten us a little bit on, how do you look at the return on investment calculations when you actually go to your, your board and you kind of say that, okay, I need to make this investment and why? I mean, you did explain the business case, but is there a return on investment that you try and come up with on this?
I mean, when we talk about the entire technology, there are two aspects to it. Like what we said, the return on investment is in the context earlier, say today I have a X cost, probably or X parameter, and maybe will change, or that will change with the introduction of the technology. But look at it, today we are also having an increasing complexity. The question is more than a return on investment. Say we have maybe 2 drivetrains in the past, now it's going to be 3, and we don't know what, right? More will come. How would you be ready for that? When that itself is a return on investment, you getting ready for the future. If you can't attract the employees who want to work for you in 10 years from now, it's a different ball game. So I would say, I don't think we put today the return on investment in terms of just number of costs saved or maybe other things, but what's the legacy? What's the trend that's going to happen, and what will be the new future, even to the extent of sustainability. Like we talked about, we cannot continue what we are doing today. We have to change. Everybody,
absolutely,
everybody of us.
ESG is a big topic at the moment. Yeah.
So you need to adopt these technologies from that perspective. ESG is as good as sustainability, right?
Yeah.
It's not about the return, it's about sustainability.
It is all.
The dimension of ROI for technology has changed, especially for this particular one.
That's interesting to note. Well, now this brings me to probably my last question before we actually, go to the crowd and, probably get some ideas from them. Now, while you've said that, excuse me, while you've said that, you have in bits and pieces started working on certain parts of it, would you like to elaborate on a couple of examples and how that actually has helped, how it has helped probably in cost savings or a faster go-to market or better training, of something that you've done? Bits of Metaverse. I understand the whole, supply chain is yet to be done.
Yes, I would say little bit Metaverse is coming, but little bit more than Metaverse, including Metaverse, for example. I think it's 2022, we have produced a car, a concept car, right? Every auto show we release the concept car. The entire concept car was developed from scratch to the stage where we put the vehicle on the stage. All happened in 10 months. Unimaginable, in the past scenario, and it's of course, we used the 3D and we used 3D printing as well, the data encapsulation, simulating different materials, the looks and also the variety, and it's possible. That's the beauty of today's, the detailing and the options that we get in the virtual world. You can try out different materials and properties of those materials onto your product, and it all happened, everything virtually 3D printed on the stage. The car drove.
Nice.
In 10 months.
So you're saying the car actually got 3D printed?
Yes.
So
I mean, it's predominantly 3D printed, yes.
So it is also possible that as a luxury car segment, you could actually start becoming a full service provider, a customized service provider, where I come to you and say, I want this model of a car, of this design, of this possible material, and it's possible maybe down the future, maybe in 15, 20 years.
Maybe, but
super luxury.
For us, it's not that. That's not the direction for us. But possible. I mean, technology-wise, it's possible. For us, I think, yeah, maybe it's another session. But no, the direction is a little bit different. But yes, the technology-wise, I can see what you are asking, and definitely it would be a possibility.
Wonderful. Well, thank you, Suresh. I mean, a lot of insights into what MB is doing, and if we can go to the audience, if there are any questions, please do let us know. It's a very interesting topic, so feel free. Yes, sir.
Hi, good evening. Very interesting talk about it.
May
First
I
of all,
request,
quick questions. You mentioned that
May I request if everyone just introduces themselves before speaking? I'd appreciate that. Thank you.
I am Dr. Dhananjay. I am come from Thought Power Corporation, that is Pennsylvania-based company, and in India. I am an emeritus professor at College of Engineering, Pune, mostly associated with EV program on the invitations of Government of India. Yeah. So one quick questions before I ask something more. You mentioned that for your Metaverse, you are talking to NVIDIA, which is mostly a GPU processors. While this Metaverse, this current trend as far as this virtual reality, mixed reality, mixing up its twin for the entire cycle, the trend is to moving toward tensor because it is almost 20% more efficient. It is latency is pretty low. So any specific reason why you have using this NVIDIA processors, not that because you are going to look for next 10 years ahead, and there's efficiency as well as the speed is one of the major criteria. So any specific reason why going for NVIDIA processors and not the tensor, which is more advanced, mainly built for this kind of application?
I mean, it's like this, right? It's niche. The technology is niche, but it's not niche as well. The competitors are always going to be, there will be multiple players in the industry, and when you get into these kind of a niche products or technology, we look much beyond the technology and the technology of what that company has today. That's probably important, but that's not the only aspect, or that's not probably the biggest aspect. It's about NVIDIA as a corporation and MB as a corporation and what we can together do in future. And that strength is what I say is the biggest topic of the decision. Second, with NVIDIA, we already started building our connected cars, or the twins for the cars, that we already started engagement much before, right? So our cars our virtual cars are already there. Now it's a natural extension of the whole topic further into production as well as into the, even as I said, the customers. Now we have also use cases towards the customer that we are already discussing. So now it's a natural extension for the relationship that we have. But this is not not just choosing a partner, choosing a supplier who has a technology. It's much beyond. I mean, I think today we live in a connected business world, right? It's no more that I am an OEM, I do everything, and I source from the supplier. No, we are going to have connected businesses, and we create value as as a chain, not just as individual. So in that context, NVIDIA fits best. Beyond a doubt, it fits best for us at this stage. Yeah.
Thank you, Suresh. I think we've run over time, so if we can take any of the questions later on the break session, I'd appreciate that. Thank you so much. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you.